All right, all right, all right.
Welcome back to Developed, everybody. Today we got a little bit different show. We're working on the beginner stuff again. We're working on a different list or adding to the list. But we got a special guest to help us out with this one. We got Emily. How you doing, Emily?
Guys,
Hey, how you
glad to
doing?
be here.
We really needed help on this one.
It's not like
Yeah, and
Frozen or anything.
Emily is the right person to do this.
Yeah,
for sure.
she basically has a show on it already. Seems like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What's the name of that show again?
Oh, I don't know, like wrote or jotted,
Taking notes.
taking maybe taking notes, maybe.
Stopgap.
Yeah,
That's it. It's epic stopgap.
we're gonna call it remembered.
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 Right.
That was gonna be
right.
it.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good show.
Remembered.
Beginner blending. Beginner blending. That's what it was called. Right?
That's it. It's blending. Yep. That's it. No, it's called Noted.
Yes. And y'all are like in like over 2 years doing that show, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we are in our 100. We just did our 120th episode.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Dedication.
Yeah.
What number?
I did
fun,
20.
it's a
I did
fun.
20
Right.
minutes too. Don't have the bail. That shit is way too much. There's way too much involved in that, boy. God damn.
Yeah, we just had Graham on a couple weeks ago, the first time in 2 years that he was on the show. Got a little taste of what we do every week.
It's ridiculous. You guys are like heroes, man. Jesus Christ. It's very, very intense. Like very intense. Like I couldn't imagine doing it on I just couldn't imagine doing it like on Milk Week or some other shit that you guys do, like some horse shit
Milk
week that
Week
you
was
guys do.
Mm.
Ugh.
Some weeks
'Cause I
are
think-
just torture. Yeah.
Well, think about the people that come on. They're usually coming on because they're like, that's what they know. You know, like that's the flavor they know or whatever. But you guys got to do it all. Like, ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like you don't love milk.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like your thing. It's
The milk girl. I'm the
yeah.
milk
She's
girl.
not like she's known as like the milk kid, the milk king of Cincinnati. You know, but that's not her. She's just you
Yeah.
know just Emily, just doing it all, doing yeast and starch. Yeast week.
I can't imagine doing sweetener week. I can't
Oh,
imagine that.
That was fun. That was tricky. That one, you do single flavor. I do single flavor test for everything, but like for sweetener week, because it's hard to just taste sweetener. I just picked one flavor that like I knew well, and then just did the same percentage, and then added did that like 7 or 8 or 12 times, and then just added each kind of sweetener to it.
That's super smart. That's super smart. Like you picked like wild melon or something, and just kept it at wild melon, just did the same thing. Like that's super smart.
Yeah, Dave didn't do that, did he?
I wouldn't do that
Just
either.
Didn't he do?
by itself.
I think I remember watching that one.
But he had an
Like
idea
5% of all of them. Didn't he do 5% of all of them?
He did that on something else, I think.
Oh, it was coolant. Wasn't it
Yeah,
coolant?
coolant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh, man.
That guy's nuts, man.
All I know is you guys are right. Deadly accurate about everything you say. Especially last night.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that didn't watch the last time we did this, what we are trying to do is, okay, we have a list from the first episode we did for beginners mixer week. And what we are going to do is to add to that list another flavors, maybe another profiles, to kind of add to that one and have a more complete beginners list where you can find flavors enough to do most of what you want, right?
Yeah.
All right, Max. Wanna
Can't do
explain what
everything.
we're doing?
That's the
what
base.
we're doing?
You can't do everything with the list, but you can get a lot done. There you go. There's your English translation for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
More will keep coming. Don't worry.
There's a lot that you can make with this list, and not going off of recipes, but just if you're wanting to make something yourself. But I think we should step it up a notch and just include some things that are still kind of beginner, but just add like an extra dimension to a mix that they would make with these flavors, you know?
Yeah. Because it's not like, I mean, they're simple. They're very beginner friendly flavors, but some things like they're missing elements. Like you could take the Persian lime and the big watermelon and, strawberry, but like that's kind of boring. Like you're gonna want other stuff. Maybe you don't want to just mash those fruits together. Maybe you want to make something out of them. Like maybe you want different textures going on or something like that.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about doing candies and stuff with it, and throw some like additives and stuff like that in there.
Definitely. Yeah, just because it's amazing. You guys know that I'm a fan of simple mixes. So you take 2 or 3 like of these like basic flavors, you just add a little bit of something else, and it just turns it into a very complex, very tasty, nuanced mix. It doesn't take much. You don't need to have like 9, 10 different flavorings and balance them all out to make something that's really good.
Right.
Yeah, that's something that I really admire about your recipes is that I mean you can make a very complex recipe out of 4 or 5 flavorings. I mean super complex as far as texture and mouthfeel and different notes and how they're layered. Very well done.
Well, thank you. I like to cheat or get the flavors to work for me in my favor. So I like to take the flavors that are more nuanced or complex flavors and kind of make the most out of them and kind of showcase the few flavors that I use instead of trying to make something out of a bunch of different parts that are just like, well, it's okay, but it needs this, and so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe Thursday we gonna do recipes with the list like the other time.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take what we talk about today and use some of those, and maybe in combination with the ones that are on our original list, and come up with something tasty.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. If
And Folkart,
anybody,
do you wanna tell people where they can find the list?
Yes, I put a link in the chat for people to go to our website. We have a website now. It's not completely done, but the list is there. You can check it out. I'll post it again here so everybody can find it. We're going to talk more about our website maybe on Thursday. We won't get into it today. But there's the link. You can check out the list.
Is that reporter still poking around? The one that interviewed us for our bios?
yeah, he
Still
hit
around?
me up
No?
earlier. He hit me up
Did he?
earlier. Yeah. You didn't pay him yet.
Of course I did. Of course I did. What are you talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's gone, right? That's what I was
He's
asking.
holding
Who is that?
the guy who interviewed for the bios and everything.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's holding them ransom right now because he wasn't paid yet. So probably gonna have to get on that.
Oh, well.
So where you guys want to start with this list, huh?
Well, just looking at this list, it's pretty obvious that we had bakeries on our minds when we come up with this first list,
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of candies and stuff in here. Y'all want to start with the candies?
Well, I think maybe before we like completely switch gears, maybe we should talk about some additives for the bakeries or some tobaccos for the bakeries.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I kind of the one thing that really jumped out at me was FA almond
Ooh.
as an additive, because it can work wonders in just turning any kind of bakery into something just a little bit special,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna do some kind of a cheesecake or you want to throw that on the ice cream, or you got the biscuit and the sugar cookie. Yeah, you could do some interesting stuff. Even strawberry, I'm sure. I'm sure people.
Yo,
do
Yeah,
stuff.
someone
it's a flavor that. Go ahead, Graham.
someone did the craziest shit I saw the other day, and I can't remember where it was or what I saw on it, but they used almond, FA almond for Smarties.
Really?
And it completely worked. And if you smell FA almond, you'll see it. You'll 100% see that it's like Smarties flavor. I can't remember where. I think it's an ATF. It might be under Smarties and ATF. It's
That's
not.
interesting.
It's
Yeah, I
not
saw
Smarties.
that
I'll
in a
find it.
show.
Yeah, it was-
Wasn't it in your show, Emily?
No,
No.
it wasn't.
Sound familiar? I would think I would remember something as crazy as that. Maybe.
Yeah, I know it was on a show that someone else pointed it out, and then I saw it, and it was like, it's very accurate. Very accurate.
Yeah, and the good thing
It's crazy.
about FA almond is that it's not going to take over your recipe. It's very soft, and you can play around with it without being too aggressive to the other flavors.
And you know, one thing I kind of like about it is if you use it like in a cake or a bakery, it can work to like separate the frosting or like the top note from the bakery. So even if you're doing like, say you add a cupcake with like some strawberries, you add a little bit of almond in there, and it kind of separates it. Or if you have like a frosting and like a vanilla cupcake and like some frosting or something else, it just kind of gives the mix some separation, which is really weird but cool.
That's like
Yeah,
a
it's not
that's like an old school flavor too.
Yeah.
Like most people, that's probably in their first or second flavor order.
I don't know if it is the flavor I would go to for an almond flavor, but as an additive, it's very good.
So is
What
there a
percentage?
is there like a creamy aspect to the FA almond, or is it more of like a nutty kind of vibe going on?
Yeah,
Just
I
to
think
kind of
it's
let the
creamy.
people in the chat know.
I think it can be pretty creamy.
Mm.
But I mean, almonds, even like an authentic almond has like a creamy element to it,
Mhm.
you know. So it is authentic and nutty, but like it's not like some of the FA nuts can be kind of like harsh and bitey. It doesn't have that, you know. It's very kind of mellow and creamy.
Right.
Opposite of the nut mix.
Yeah,
Exact opposite. Oh, that's a brutal one, huh? You ever use that? In
Oh, yeah.
anything?
I love that stuff. But you just use like a drop of it, and
Yeah.
boom, nuts in your face.
Yeah.
No one likes that.
Okay, so what other kind of additives do you think we would want to put in say in some type of a bakery or a cream or something to kind of bolster
Do you
that?
think that rich cinnamon is a good flavor for a beginner?
Yes. Wow. It's
Yeah.
not very beginner friendly, but it's so like versatile and like it has a learning curve because it is so potent. You don't need much, but it's very versatile and I think a little bit of spice just turns bakeries and makes them magical. Whether it's just
Yeah, even
cinnamon or you know.
even if you want to bake something, you can use rich cinnamon very low.
And we're talking about flavor-rich cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I don't know if it is a beginner's flavor, but
well,
I would say
it's the best cinnamon out there. If you want
Yeah.
cinnamon, that's the cinnamon to get.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say like a beginner flavor, but you're gonna kind of want to go in that kind of like a direction is Flavora apple filling. I mean, you can't go wrong with that flavor.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. It's it's just the apple pie filling, you know? Like it's got this great balance of spice and a little bit of fruitiness from the apple and
It's almost like applesauce.
mm-hmm.
And it's a
but
pretty
do you think it is as useful as rich cinnamon?
I would say both of them are. No, it's not as
Not
useful.
as versatile as
Yeah.
rich cinnamon, no.
And you're gonna want to go in that apple kind of area
Yeah.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
want to use it. But it's so fucking good.
But you know, I've seen it used like pretty low in recipes, and the apple really doesn't show up much.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a to me I can use it low in non-apple profiles, or I can use it all the way up to like 4% if you want to, or maybe even higher than that. I have seen some like those McDonald's style apple pie profiles use it like at 8%.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
You'd be turning it off at that point.
I haven't mixed it up, but people do use it that high.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
for sure. For sure. You can go up over it. You know what I mean? Like it gets really, really strong and then it kind of mellows out again. And then like 8% makes sense, kind of.
Yeah.
Like mutes itself out.
But
and
as
comes back.
a beginner, I wouldn't use it to high.
So,
Mm.
Goose Girl suggested for like a beginner cinnamon. What about cinnamon Danish swirl for a beginner cinnamon? And
Caps sugars, cinnamon sugar is probably the best one for
yeah,
beginners.
yeah.
You know?
The thing with
Like, it's
Capella's
forgiving.
cinnamon Danish swirl is it's not the greatest cinnamon. Like it's a very metallic cinnamon, sharp.
It's like a mouthful of blood.
But Capella sugar cinnamon, if you don't want like the punchiness or the potency of Flavora rich cinnamon, Capella sugar cinnamon is another really great cinnamon to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rich cinnamon is an expensive flavor maybe for a beginner, but you buy a bottle and you can have it forever because
Forever,
you're
yeah.
only going to use 0.25,
Yeah.
0.5.
And I would suggest only picking up like a 10 mil if you're just starting out.
Absolutely. I still have my 10 mil from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I do is I as soon as I got an empty bottle and I made a dilution, 10% dilution. That's how I use it. It gives me a little bit more forgiveness, you know, because you want to do just a drop in like a 30 mil. So if you're doing a 10 mil or you don't want it to overtake something, if you accidentally do an extra drop, dilute it.
That really is a flavor too. That if you do more than one drop, like it's almost too. I mean, it is too much. You know what I mean? Like some of them you can go over a couple here and there, whatever, no big deal. That one's legit. Maybe one of the only ones that like one drop will make the difference between being too much and not.
It seems like a really viscous like concentrate too. Like it's not gonna just like you gotta kind of like squeeze to get it out the bottle, and it's like that's a drop, and it's a big drop. You're like, oh god. Everybody warns you about how only use one drop in a 30 mil, and it's like it's a big fucking drop in the bottle.
Yeah.
It's not like an alcohol based one where it's just like a little tiny one, but I would say you could get either or if you're like into them, like a cinnamon kind of a profile. You could go cap cinnamon sugar, or you could go Flavora rich cinnamon. They're both probably the best cinnamons, like standalone cinnamons without bakeries or anything like that. You can use them.
Mm-hmm. But now, if you're going if you're going for some kind of a cinnamon swirl kind of roll or something, capped cinnamon Danish swirl is not a bad flavor to start out with. It's just that I think people get tired of it really fast.
I think I'd rather go with like Flavor West cinnamon roll or even like Wonder Flavors.
Flavors, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want it all in one, which I think if you're a beginner, the more flavors, complex flavors you can get where everything's all in one, the better.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm not sure if rich cinnamon is a beginner flavor, but it might be.
All right, guys.
I mean, why not? You know what I mean? We're all adults here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure anybody can grasp the concept of like one drop.
Right.
well,
What would you consider a beginning flavor? Why would you not think it is?
I don't know. I think more of like if you're mixing as often as like we are, you'll think about other ways to use rich cinnamon that other people probably wouldn't use it in that direction. I think most people would think about it just to go for like a cinnamon in like a bakery or something, but like people use it in teas. They use stuff to like use it as like a warming kind of a thing, or
I think usability and margin of error.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
are like the two main things you need to consider about beginner flavor.
Okay, what else?
What about like Flavor West graham cracker? I saw that you guys had TFA cheesecake graham crust
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the first list, but like there's I mean there is some creaminess to that. What about just a single graham flavor like Flavor West?
I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems to be a little bit more full than the TPA cheesecake graham crust, don't you
Hmm.
think?
It's malty, so you can get away with using it as an accent. You add just a little bit to like a vanilla ice cream or even a custard, and it that's another one where it just transforms it and gives it this extra dimension that's just really good.
Mhm.
I've even used it in like a strawberry and cream because you add something malty, whether it be like Flavor West hazelnut or Flavor West graham cracker to like some strawberry, and it like ripens the strawberry.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I've also seen it used, and Graham, you probably know more about this than I do, but there was it may have been Skittles that started using graham cracker in milkshakes to kind of give it that kind of texture that a milkshake has, kind of that graininess. Is that right? Is Graham gone?
He's here, but he's I think he's muted.
It's
Okay,
muted.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, graham cracker can be added to like shake profiles to give it kind of a texture or graininess to it.
Yeah.
You don't want to use it high, but just a little bit just gives it some texture. It just a little bit more dimension, and that's kind of what these additives that we're talking about. They're not. I guess you could call them additives, but they're flavors. But just little nuances here and there can make your mixes so much more defined and just add a little bit more dimension to them.
Yeah. And talking about that, I was thinking about hazelnut. That is a good flavor for an additive also. Flavor West hazelnut.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great one because I mean you can use it as a nut as a hazelnut, but it's has a lot of uses also down low to accent things, and add some
Yeah.
creaminess, to add some maltiness, to ripen strawberries. So that would
Yeah.
definitely need to be, I think, on like a first buy list because it is
Even every time I try to make like a milk flavor, I add like 0.5 of hazelnut to any cream to make it more
like a milkshake.
milky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of like nuts that are like that you can add to creams that makes it more creamy, right?
Yeah, like what?
Like
Um,
almond kind of can do that.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Just because it's a nut doesn't mean it's just going to add nuttiness to something. I guess is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Flavor West hazelnut, it's one of those like if you want the nuttiness, you go 2, 3, 4%, but you use it at just 0.5%, and it'll give it some creaminess or some maltiness, or I use it at 0.5%, sometimes even 1% with strawberries to kind of make them, more red for some reason. Cocan found that out, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So far we have what? We have rich cinnamon, we have FA almond, we have a Graham cracker FA Graham cracker,
Flavor West graham cracker
Flavor West, and Flavor West hazelnut, right?
Yep.
and
Perfect.
Flavora apple filling. I think we talked about that too.
We talk about it. Yeah.
I mean, it would depend if you want it. It's an excellent flavor. I think it makes everything taste better if you're going for like that kind of like a cooked apple, like a warming kind of thing. I use it a lot, so I'm a big fan of it. So I kind of would say it's worth it. If you want to go with like an apple pie, fuck man, it's so easy to do with that flavor.
Yeah. You could just about use that as a single flavor recipe, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, guys, I was thinking, kind of thinking, bakeries and thinking you need kind of like a brown sugar type flavor, like a dark sweetness. So I was either thinking Flavora milk and honey or Flavora caramel.
I fucking love this.
Oh
flavor.
hell yeah!
Because
These are
Flower
my two-
caramel.
it's
two of
not
my
caramel, but it's brown. It's a delicious brown sugar.
This is the
Oh my
best brown
God, dude.
sugar.
You just made me so happy. Those are like my 3 favorite flavors: apple filling, Flora milk and honey, and Flora caramel. I always like tell you like maybe we should put Flora caramel in this. You know?
It's so good. Like it's don't get it twisted. Don't expect a caramel at all because it's
Yeah.
not. But it's a really good deep brown sugar.
Yeah, it's so good. It's got like a grittiness to it.
Yes,
Like, It's just like it's a flavor that just makes me happy. I fucked up. I bought a 10 mil of it, but I fucked up and I realized I bought 2 10 mils. Best decision I ever fucking made. I didn't even really make that decision, but it was. I'm so happy. I always look at those 2 bottles and put them next to each other. I'm like, that was a good day. It was a nice little surprise. I did that too with FA Bavarian Cream. I love that flavor too.
yeah, it's a good flavor.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that is a good one.
like the Flora Caramel, you know, most of the times you would think that you would want to use that in some type of a bakery to get that brown sugar note, which you can, but you can also add it to like creams or milks, especially if you're making like some type of cereal milk. It'll add that like sugary darkness that you're looking for in a cereal milk. So
Yeah, and most of these flavors you can also use it in tobaccos.
Yeah,
Been
I
working on one.
I
with
think
that.
that we should use Flora Caramel and a cereal milk for one of the recipes for Thursday. I think we should work on that for one of them. That sounds really good.
That does sound really good.
Yeah, we have cereal 27 in the list.
Yeah.
We have meringue.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I love like stuff like this and trying to figure out how to make recipes out of these basic flavors because it's just it's more accessible, you know. And if you can make something, if you can show somebody that you can make something just as tasty, if not better than like the store, out of just a few, you know, handful of really good flavors, that's like this is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it proves that you don't need 1,000 flavors to make a good recipe.
Exactly.
Because when you start, you watch these kind of shows and you see the kind of flavors we use, the amount of flavor we use, and it's kind of frightening.
And it can be intimidating.
for sure.
For sure. You know, I mean, look behind me. People can see that and be like, holy crap, like, you know, I don't know if I want to get into this hobby. Like, I don't need to get all these flavors, but
Yeah, but
you don't need to.
with shows like Noted and like, you know, kind of like what we do, we show you more recipes, like how to make them and everything. But, you know, everybody's doing the hard work for you. Like us putting this list together for you. You can find so many recipes that use these and then you can kind of adapt them to whatever you want to do. Like there's so many resources now. Like there's getting into DIY is a smart move and you'll have a lot of fun with it. I mean, it's not that much money if you think about in terms of like what you're already spending. So, I mean, if you look at like behind Folkart and Emily, like, yeah, it's a lot of flavors, but like, you don't need them all.
Nah. I just like them all. Like, give me,
Right.
gotta collect them all.
Yeah, you need more tools in your tool shed, you know?
Right.
That's basically what it is. You want to be able to make everything and anything.
That's the thing. Yeah. As I enjoy being able to, like, on a whim, be able to pretty much make any recipe I see, you know? And because I mix my own recipes, but a lot of times I'll mix up other people's recipes too. So I like being able to just like put random flavors together or be able to see a recipe that, you know, someone uses and be like, yeah, I can make that. Like, you know, look what I have that flavor.
Yeah, I get excited when a company comes out with a new flavor. I have to get it just to try it out.
Yeah.
That not everybody will want to do that because it can get costly. So that's kind of why we wanted to put this list together to just to get people started because we know that there's going to be a lot of people and it's already started. A lot of people that are going to have to start mixing their own if they want to stay away from cigarettes, because
Unfortunately, yeah.
shops are closing left and right. Sad, but that's the way it is. But
Yeah, and in most of the cases, for example, with brown sugar, if you don't buy Flora Caramel and you have milk and honey or you have TPA brown sugar, it's not that you're going to have a terrible liquid. You're going to have still something you can vape and stop smoking.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, and that's why we want to make some recipes out of these flavors, so that if a person does buy these particular flavors, then they'll have something to vape like immediately. They can mix it up immediately and vape it, and don't have to like comb through all the flavors or ELR trying to find recipes that they have flavors for.
Yep.
So
Yeah, because a lot of the fun of it is just kind of looking at your flavors, seeing what you have, and just being like, all right, this sounds good. Like, this will sound like it'll go good with this, and let's just mix it up and go for it. And if you have this list, you can do a lot of different things, and I don't think you'd get very tired soon. What about, guys, a flavor that it wasn't like on my first purchase order? It took a while to get, but once I got it, I used it a lot. And it's kind of leaning more towards the tobaccos. And that's FA Soho.
I don't like that one.
no, me neither.
I don't like
You guys
that
don't
one
like
at all. No.
it's
Okay.
it's okay as a RY4. I mean, it's okay, but honestly, I think there's better options out there if you're looking for a RY4.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you need it to make a good tobacco? Do you need Soho?
I've
Today.
never needed it. I've never needed it in my life.
Not if you have a different RY4. No. So let's just talk about like RY4, since they're kind of the most beginner friendly tobaccos. What would you guys use instead?
Do you want the best one or the more accessible one?
The one that you can still buy.
The one that you can still buy.
TPA, RY4 double,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do not like that one at all. It's like dirty.
It is dirty.
Yeah.
And you have to eventually learn to love it.
No.
And
you
it took me a long time. It took me a really long I hated that flavor. I find it harsh. I find it to be not even a really good RY4, because like an RY4 is vanilla, caramel, and tobacco, and it's supposed to be a pretty good balance of all of them. And I don't think it's any of those things. I don't get a lot of vanilla off of it. I get a decent brown sugar off of it, and there's no tobacco to it. It's just not tobacco.
No.
It's just like a dirty brown sugar.
But it's not really supposed to be a tobacco. It's supposed to be an RY4, which is not really a tobacco, right?
But there's RY4s that are also kind of tobacco. Like Jungle Flavors has a great RY4. Hankson has a great RY4, and their RY1 is really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, out of all of them, I would pick them all up. I see how RY4 is used, and it's usually used wrong in my opinion, but the TPA one, I think TPA RY4 double is usually used kind of wrong, but you can make it work, and it can work, and it can be really good.
Yeah, I have used it in one mix recently that I actually liked it in. And this is the only time I ever liked that flavor. And it was in Jen's pistachio brulee.
Yeah, which is a great idea to use that to kind of give it like a kind of a cooked note and kind of like a toasted note. Yeah, it does that great.
It's a really good
Even in a coffee, you can use RY4.
That's true too. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you got to be careful with the dirtiness.
Okay, if you make me choose, I would probably go with Jungle Flavors. But I know that 95% of the recipes have TPA.
Yeah, but if you try them and you subbed with Jungle Flavors and you actually like tobacco, or you actually want that profile, you're going to be happier with the Jungle Flavors one. but I think you're going to be most happy with the Hankson one.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I think if you want the best RY4 that I've tried, or for me anyway, is the Hanson RY4 double, or is
Yeah.
is it double or is it just RY4?
I think it's just RY4.
Yeah,
And
RY4.
you have to be careful because they have a few. I think they have a few. I know they have the RY1 and they have an RY4, but I think they also have another RY4.
They have a RY5 and a 6, I believe.
Yeah, those are just sweeter.
Yeah.
RY1
Okay,
is more tobacco.
if we put Hansen on the list and they see a recipe where they're using like 8% TPA RY4 double, how much Hansen they should use?
Like 2. Like 2%, 3%.
Yeah, I would at least cut it
Okay.
in half,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, people use TPA kind of high. And you don't need it that high, but I don't know. I still kind of love-hate relationship with that flavor, and I would still say it's kind of worth picking it up, but I wouldn't pick it up
But you
first.
consider it a beginner flavor, though.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You really love them, but you have to pretend like you hate it. I know how it's going, Max. I know
Well,
you really love Nickelback.
If somebody wanted to mix up Obsidian, I would say pick up TPA RI4 double. You won't be disappointed. If you're wanting to experiment with some RY4s and you know try to make your own, then I would suggest getting either the Hanson or the Jungle Flavors.
How
That's
about this? If you've had a commercial recipe that is a vanilla caramel tobacco and you liked it, then you like TFA RY4 double.
yes.
But if you really want to, knock your socks off, get the Hankson one.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
one's way better.
Yeah, it
And
is.
if you don't get the Hansen where you buy, go for the Jungle Flavors.
Yeah, Jungle Flavors is a great one too.
Yeah.
Jungle Flavors is probably my most used one, but I like the Hankson one better. So I don't know. I think you got some room to choose. They're all kind of different. They're all kind of similar, but none of them are fucking Soho. Soho has got like a bakery kind of thing
not
going on.
Soho. I think that's because it's got the bakery thing going on. Like
Yeah.
I'll use a little bit of Soho in my orange cranberry muffins to add like a fresh in the oven kind of toastiness to it.
You don't get licorice from it?
No.
I don't get that from it.
I do.
Max, you have used milk and honey instead of RY4, right? In some recipes.
Yeah, I use it in a lot of tobaccos. I love that flavor so much. It's so good. I love it with banana.
But do you think if you have, for example, if you have a milk and honey and you have some kind of caramel, some kind of vanillas, you can replicate that kind of feeling you have from an RY4?
Maybe, kind of. I mean, it's kind of creamy too, though. So you got to have the right tobacco. Tobaccos are tough to work with, but yeah, I mean, there's two tobaccos that I would recommend right off the bat if you want to get into them that make it really easy. I mean, the first one should be no surprise to anybody, Flora Native. I mean, it's really easy to use.
2%.
You love that
Be a
flavor.
beginner tobacco for sure.
You use 1% and it's the perfect amount of dryness. If you want that kind of dryness, it's going to kind of delete some of that creaminess from milk and honey. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, but that is a kind of a dark tobacco.
Yeah. And then the second one would either, well, okay, 3. So the next one's kind of even darker, red burley.
Mixed
and it's
Cardinal.
just mixed cardinal, yeah.
That's-
Well,
that's
you
like
can't
right.
if you can't get that holy grail.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna be an
mean-
issue.
Yeah, but I think the new version is the same thing as the old version. It smells just the same.
The Holy Resurrection.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it has been changed, it hasn't been changed much. I know they come out with like a Holy version 2. it was completely different from the first one. But the Resurrection,
Mm-hmm.
to me, is the same.
Yeah.
And I really like the Holy Grail. I bought it, I think, to make one of your recipes, Folkart, and I really like it as a, even as an RI4.
The sweet potato pie, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works really good to like. It kind of does the same thing as the TPA RI4 double in a bakery. It kind of bakes it, makes it more. I don't know. It just gives a darker feel to it, and kind of like a brown sugar vanilla note in there. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain, Max, what's the difference between native and red burley?
Okay, so native is flawless, so we got that one out the way. But no, it's kind of like it's got some spice to it. So, but you can kind of like it kind of works with tobaccos for me. Like it has like some. A lot of tobaccos are not really that interesting. Some of them are just kind of like a weird mustiness and earthiness and everything. Native is a pretty accurate tobacco to me, where it actually has a decent amount of dryness, and you can build onto it instead of just using like 2 tobaccos to try to fill everything out. I usually use just 1% native in like all my tobacco recipes, just because it does everything I want it to do. It's like I kind of use it as an additive, but it's a really full-bodied tobacco. You don't need to use 1%. A lot of people don't like it at like 1%. They'll only use like a quarter of it or whatever. But red burley is kind of wet, and it also has some cocoa and maybe like a little bit of like a coffee thing going on to it. And that's why I like them together. I know Dave really likes cured and red burley together, but I think native is a little bit better. And some people really like Kentucky. These are all from Flavora, by the way. I'm not doing a good job explaining that. They're all by Flavora. I always thought that cured was like the least dry, native was like medium dryness, and Kentucky was the most dry. I think native is the most dry. Kentucky just has some ashiness and a little bit of like almost smokiness to it. So if you want that, then you might want to play around with like Kentucky and native. And then, if you are into like that kind of chocolate thing, then throw red burley in there. So I don't know. I just really like tobaccos.
And if you want like an ashy tobacco, like something to make the switch more similar to a cigarette,
Oh, that's
sweet and
tough.
smoky.
Yeah, sweet and smoky probably. Okay, so if you wanted something really neutral, like the kind of tobaccos that are going to work with everything, I would say are Flavora native, and then like almost more of a lighter, not so spicy tobacco that's going to work with a lot of things is the sweet and smoky. I'll single flavor that at 3% and I'll be good. I like that flavor a lot. Just alone, it's easy to build off of. You can add like 1 or 2 things to it, and they don't have to be tobaccos, and you're good. You could throw the hazelnut in there, and you could throw the almond in there, and just sit back, and everything's okay.
So Emily, what do you think we should add to the list? It was a good thing to have Emily on to talk about this with tobaccos.
I'm no help when it comes to tobaccos. I've used native once. I've used red burley a couple times, but I don't like tobaccos, so I have no help.
Have you tried Cardinal or like Cardinal?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. It's good.
Cardinal's great.
For those who like tobaccos, it's amazing. Everyone raves about it, and it's fantastic. But for me, who cannot stand tobaccos, it's okay.
I just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's a great flavor.
I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. It seems like you just want to add like caramel or butterscotch to all of them.
And you can. You pretty much can with all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much all of them.
So is that pretty much all the beginner tobaccos, or?
I can only really recommend like pick an RY4 off of what we said, and then if you really want to get into tobaccos, the only two I can like really solidly recommend that you will keep using are Flavora Sweet and Smoky and Flavora Native. I'm sure you're gonna like those, and then you can maybe go into like Oriental and Kentucky and Tatanka and Cured,
Can
and
do it.
I mean it's a
Well,
whole
You're not going to
thing.
go wrong with any of the Flavor tobaccos if you like tobacco.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, well, I don't know, a couple of them you might want to skip.
Like Pucker.
Pucker's
Pucker.
not.
Pucker's good at 5% on its own.
Weird.
Commercial's not so good. Classic's not so good.
Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet's not so good. But all the other ones other than that are pretty good. Arabian's good. I'm not really big on Cavendish.
Yeah, me neither. It's so damn strong.
It's strong and it's kind of syrupy and chewy and like too much like a rum note in there. It's just weird.
All right, so just to keep it simple, get Native, Sweet and Smoky, and throw you some caramels and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Just get an RY4 and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you don't really need the just get an RY4 and you're fine.
Yeah.
Chances are you don't want to
Hey.
fuck with those.
All right, so what's next on the list?
Candies.
Yeah, let's do fucking candies. Holy shit.
Like,
All right,
Yeah.
Graham, you're up, buddy.
27 fish for sure, right?
yeah.
Holy fucking shit, yeah. I gotta get a 30 millimeter.
Capella, 27, right?
Yeah. Is that Silverline?
Yeah.
Who cares? Just buy it.
Silverline.
Yeah, it is Silverline.
It's good though, and it's accurate AF.
But if I'm gonna say one thing, you better not even fucking think about buying it if you're not gonna buy TFA regular raspberry.
Word.
Yes.
Word.
I saw that it wasn't on the list, and I'm like, this list needs a raspberry, and it's got to be TFA raspberry.
Yeah.
It's such an underrated flavor.
So
But-
is.
Yeah.
Good.
Emily's the one who got me to buy it like
Me too.
years ago. Years ago. She was telling me I was using Inawera, and I don't even like Inawera raspberry.
Innoware's garbage compared to TFA.
It's fucking trash.
It's so floral. Like, it's so.
It's so hard to work with.
TFA
It's like-
raspberry can have a floral note, but it's bright, it's candied, it's a really good raspberry. Not the sweet. Don't get raspberry sweet.
Yeah, no, fuck
You're
that.
not
anymore.
There's so two different flavors, so completely different that you can't even begin to put them together. Remember when Wayne reviewed the one recipe and he used sweet instead of, and he's going, it's got like a wood note.
No, but he liked
Was
it.
it licorice that he
No.
It was
It was Tiger's X.
Tiger's
Yeah,
X?
Tiger's
Yeah,
X.
he totally
Yeah.
got it wrong.
He liked it though, but then he was like, and I was like, well, imagine if he tried the right raspberry.
right.
Like he'd fucking love it.
So you use it in like what, like licorice, Tiger's X, and that other
No.
one.
No. Mm-mm. I use 27 fish. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, okay, 27 fish. Is it Tiger's X that you use both raspberry and 27
Yeah,
fish?
yeah.
Okay.
And you know what I'm going to use instead of, I'm going to take that gusher out. I'm going to use that new vape train because the gummy,
What
there's a new red fruit gummy candy something.
is
Steve's
that?
sending it. Yeah, he's sending it out. I think he's sending it to all of us. But
Nice.
yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't have it yet. But the way he explained it, he said it would go perfect in that. He tried it.
Nice. Maybe it'll help the that floral edge because Gushy,
Yeah.
all the Wonder Flavor candies, most of them are really rock solid. But Gushy, depending on what you use it with, it can have a little bit of a bright, edgy floralness to it.
Right. That was a whole accident. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to see how gummy I could get it, and then I thought it was crazy how gummy that was with the
It's
you know,
chewy. Like
Yeah.
I want to chew the vapor in my mouth.
you could taste it, right? Like it's like what the hell? Like it leaves that whole thing on your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it is a bit chemical, but you either need to use it low or you need to balance it with something that's a little bit deeper, a little bit like razzleberry, or like use gushy candy with something like shisha strawberry, something with a little bit
Right.
more of a bassy note to knock that floral, that chemical edge off of it.
That's what it is, right? It's the gushy. Like Dave was saying last night that it was the TFA raspberry, and it's like it could be, but I don't think that's what is doing that in that recipe. Yeah, for sure.
TFA does have a floral edge, but I think that using the two together just accentuated it.
Yeah, it goes away in a couple days, though.
It does. It does.
And you know what else is you could use as a Wonder Flavors raspberry boysenberry?
Oh.
You could use that, or bumbleberry at 2% instead of gushy.
Well, bumbleberry is pretty bright too, but that raspberry blackberry or whatever, or raspberry boysenberry, that's a good flavor.
Yeah. Max like open my eyes to that shit. He uses that as a base for like everything. We've done probably 700 different versions of that thing, which is different things instead of gushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did a few of them that you guys were testing, and it's really good. But as far as like, let's go back to reel it back in and go back to like beginner candy flavors.
Do you think 27 Bears too, or like no?
No.
I don't think so.
I would go with 27 Fish for sure, and then something like a Wonder Flavor sour gummy candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd go sour over just regular gummy, like gummy worm candy or whatever it's called. Because there's another additive that Wonder Flavor has that's not sour.
I'd go with the sour.
You go with the sour one?
Because of the malic acid or whatever they put in it that brightens things up, I'd go with the sour. It's not, guys, it's not going to taste sour. But it does have that acidy touch that I think would be really good in most gummy candies.
Yeah. See, I'd go sour ball.
Yeah.
And there is a flavor that we already have in the list that is vanilla swirl that really works with gummy candies and that kind of things to have that chewy texture.
I'm thinking that Wonder Flavor's marshmallow gooey is going to be replacing that.
Because I noticed you guys don't have a marshmallow at all on your list, on the first list.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying for like where you would use vanilla swirl like in a bubble gum or like what Nacho was saying, I'm thinking that the Wonder Flavor's gooey marshmallow might be better than vanilla swirl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I need other people to confirm that to validate my words.
I haven't tried it in candy, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I've tried it.
The problem is that if we start this way, is how we have 1,000 flavors. Because you start thinking what you need for something that specific.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. I'm saying instead of vanilla swirl for that application. You know what I mean?
Right, but we're not going about different for specific applications. We need to go more general for that.
This guy brought up vanilla swirl.
Or something that can be used for many things.
I think Jungle Flavors marshmallows kills it.
Jungle Flavors have a marshmallow? That's really good.
Jungle Flavors, it's so goddamn good.
I didn't know they had a marshmallow.
Good. This is going to turn into another noted show because I'm thinking...
We all have our own. Marshmallow treat.
No, not the treat. The marshmallow.
Say marshmallow candy.
So, is there any like hard candy flavors that Graham that you would suggest?
Cap green candy, green apple hard candy, and what do you consider hard candy? Like I think that Chews candy, Wonder Flavors Chews candy might be the best candy flavor there is. Either that or Pixie, but is that a hard candy? Sour ball's pretty good. Chews candy is pretty damn good, dude.
Yeah.
What about Flavor West hard candy?
No.
It's tough to work with. That's tough to work with.
Yeah, it's like hairspray. You know what it is? You know what? I smelled that the other day, that hard candy the other day, and it's exactly what we created with that purple thing that we did.
Yeah, probably. It does
in a
have
bottle.
Flavor.
Yeah. It's at 100%. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So no, avoid that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with that one.
What about like TFA sweet and tart?
For sure.
Oh,
that
yes.
Sweet and tangy is the same thing. right? We're pretty confident that's the same thing.
Yeah, sweet tangy, or is that what it's
Sweet
called?
Tang. I think it was
Yes,
called Sweet Tang.
Sweet tang, yeah, and sweet and tart is the same thing. So I've been told.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Green apple hard candy. I mean, you can use the Wonder Flavors, whatever green jelly candy. I like that one better. But yeah, I do. But I don't know. I don't
get
know.
a hair
I
spray
think
thing
you-
off that one too.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huh.
I love green apple hard candy, but it's only useful to make a green apple hard candy.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I think
Well-
you could probably use it in the same place like you would use like sour apple. You could probably use it lower for not as sour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like more like a
You
just
could
not as
throw
sour.
a blue raspberry over that, and it might take it over a little bit.
Mhm.
You know, I could see that. Or you
And
could
I don't
throw
think it needs
like,
to be used. Go ahead.
oh no, I don't think what I was gonna say was gonna make sense. So go ahead.
I saw that coming. I was like trying to get. Yeah, I think that it doesn't need to be used at like 12%.
I would say like sour ball candy is pretty good, like harder kind of candy. It's not gonna turn everything into like a lollipop though. You know, if that's what you're
No,
kind of
but
going for.
Candy, and it's
Yeah.
pretty versatile. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a jawbreaker, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to
that's
recap,
good.
the additives that we say that you can use with most fruits on the list are 27 fish, sour gummy candy, sour bowl.
Wonder flavors
What
candy.
is it?
Sour ball candy.
Sour bowl candy. And what else?
Juice candy.
Sweet and tart.
Sweet,
Yeah,
and,
sweet and
okay,
tart.
sweet and tart for sure.
Choose candy. Choose candy. Yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Flavors Choose Candy. It's, I think,
Pig-
should be on there.
Pixie stick, man. You get some
That's
fucking
all of them.
get that candy
Candy
stick
stick
in there.
candy.
Candy stick candies. Oh, see, they're
Oh
so
my
specific. You know, they're so specific that you kind of have to just put Wonder flavors candies.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wonder Flavors really nails like the whole candy thing. I mean, even some of their fruits. I'm a big fan of their fucking strawberry gummy candy. I'm a strawberry
Oh
mute.
my gosh, strawberry gummy candy. That's good not just for candies. You know, you use that for a strawberry jam. Like,
Mhm.
Really? It reminds me of strawberry or like a red jello. I don't know if it's strawberry or what it is, but it reminds me of like a red jello. But that might just be me being a strawberry mute. I don't get strawberry. I just get red. And I definitely get jello.
it's an in-your-face bold strawberry. Maybe you are a strawberry mute.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Definitely.
pina colada? The pina colada candy.
Oh, god damn.
Ridiculous. right?
Basically, okay. Anything on the candy list, just don't even worry about it. Just check out any of Graham's recipes. He only uses like 3 flavors at a time. Just check those out. Oh, that sounds good. Fucking buy them. That's all you gotta do. I mean, he nails like all of these.
He's a candy. He's
Magma
good.
Carter is amazing. Tiger's X is fucking amazing. I mean, he just crushes it with those like simple, like 3 flavor candy mixes.
Yeah, and if you're into pod recipes, he's got a Magma Potter out that
Yeah.
I just mixed up last week, and it is delicious in a pod system.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
I play with him too, just based off of like he does all the hard work, and I'll just like sub one flavor. Like I really like Tiger's X, but I was always telling him, I'm like, dude, you gotta change that. It has so much
Yeah.
more potential.
Yeah,
I throw
you're like-
blue raspberry in it. I throw everything in it. He had me put bumbleberry in it. They're always good.
Bumbleberry rules. That's just so good. But yeah. I mean, that's what we were talking about a minute ago. You can, that base is real good. Fuck.
So good. You do
Do
anything.
anything, anything other than berries is okay going in it though, because it's all been like berries, right? Basically.
Mm. What are you gonna put coffee in it?
Yeah. I was thinking like dulce de leche.
Yeah, chef, would that work?
Yeah. With everything. Dulce de leche with everything.
Gross.
I feel like that's the only thing they can sell in Argentina.
It's like a Swedish fish with like a dulce de leche center.
Yeah. And then
Yum.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's what he wants. That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you could throw
Um,
anything. I don't know if you could put like peach in it and it would work, or pineapple with the
With what?
Tiger's X.
Pineapple would get weird, I bet.
Pineapple probably would get weird,
You
but
forget
any
it's
berry
a-
would definitely work.
Yeah.
Mango might work. I don't know. Mango.
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. It's not important. It's a fucking great
It's not.
recipe.
Hey, do you know what I'm thinking that is missing in this list? Something like Fizzy Sherbet,
Yeah. Fizzy
or
Sherbet's a
citrus
candy.
soda, or no. I'm not talking about candies anymore.
Not,
We
I know what I'm saying. I
have
would
like
put
20
I would put
candies.
Fizzy
already.
Sherbet in a candy category.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because fizzy sherbet really is a candy. It's
Yeah,
just
it's a-
used differently.
Well, it was.
Yeah, I would put it in the list because you can use it in so many ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
definitely,
the
for sure.
flavors we have.
everybody uses fizzy sherbet.
I mean, it was designed to be kind of like a pixie stick, right?
yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I guess everywhere but here, that's what a sherbet is,
yeah,
apparently.
Hmm.
So,
Weird.
The
Did you
sherbet
melt-
was like a pop. It's 7-Up in Australia.
no. Well, yeah, it is something. There's like, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. What that's supposed to be, because I think it's different, all kinds of different places.
Whatever
But
it
I
is.
know that it's supposed to be a pixie stick.
It's a good flavor. If
Yeah.
you want an additional lemon or citrus flavor, that should probably be one.
Yeah.
and we're talking about Vape Train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lemonade clear too. While we're on.
Yeah, I was
Vaporing.
gonna say if you're gonna go in that direction of like the fizzy sherbet, like citrus soda, you gotta include lemonade clear.
Guys, I don't think you can make a beginner list.
Oh no,
Like,
we're not. We're not anymore.
Yes, we are.
We're not. Basically, buy everything. Just
Yeah.
buy everything
Get
at
it
this point.
Lemonade
We'll tell you what not to
is-
buy.
We should not be the ones making this list.
No.
Um,
Don't you think
Well-
lemonade clear is what you thought fizzy sherbet was going to be?
no. I didn't know what I
No,
thought fizzy sherbet was gonna be sherbet.
Lemonade clear is really good. So is their sour lemon. Like VT does lemon.
Yeah, yeah.
If you like lemon, just shop at Vape Train and you're fine.
Yeah. And if you love banana too, you're gonna get some surprises there. And you get some really weird surprises. Like I thought this was gonna be coconut. Why is there banana in it?
Dude, their coconut is. Have you ever tried Vape Train's coconut?
I think I have one.
Not the
Coconut-
desiccated
coconut
or whatever the fuck
crusted?
that shit's go-
No, that's
not the desiccated or what's the one Vape
don't
Train
think I have any
coconut? There's
coconut.
two of them. Dude, their one coconut, the just plain coconut is so accurate to a coconut. It's unusable. I mean, you can't use it.
I can't trust you when it comes to coconuts anymore.
I'm
though.
telling you right now, it's not. It gets to that point where every other one turns to suntan lotion, and then it just doesn't. But it's like it's as accurate to coconut as 27 fish is to Swedish fish.
What was that
I'm saying
coconut? What was that coconut I liked from
Mullenberry.
Mullenberry? Palm? Was it palm coconut?
Yeah.
That was the one I liked.
Yes, dear.
I can never remember. I just can't ever remember.
It's like I'm ordering your dinner for you. What are you,
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the one I liked over there, Blanche?
Yeah. You know how I like it best. I can't remember. That's a good coconut though.
Just get the hell
Okay.
of it.
They are going to have the definitive list on the website, right? Because we are naming so many flavors right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's going
it's-
to be a list.
it's hard to consolidate. I mean, I feel like, but you can't. I really think that those three should be on there: citrus soda, fizzy sherbet,
Not
and
for a beginner.
why
No,
not? Why not?
No, because we want like general, versatile flavors,
Yeah.
easy accessible. You know, like that can be used in a lot of things.
Cerubalum.
no. I mean, you can use fizzy sherbet. You can use, for example, cactus, cactus, or FA pear if you want to add some juiciness to liquid.
And you
Those
can,
are more general.
Yes.
So hard to do a beginner list. Are there any beginners in the chat? They probably all just died. They're like, what the fuck? I can't think of all this shit. Like, I can't keep any. Wait, they're sitting there with a notepad and they're writing it like, yeah. Oh fuck, they said no. Scratch it out. Okay. So,
Jonestown out there from the sky.
Well, don't worry, because we will update this list and it'll be on our website.
the vaping panda is a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have questions?
How are we doing, Panda?
It's
No, they're all confused. Daytime Frank is here. He's a beginner, right?
Daytime Frank. They all went to the gas station to buy cigarettes.
I don't blame them at this point.
yeah, I guess all we're doing is like taunting them, huh?
Okay, so what kind of profiles would you guys want to make? Because I feel like that's really important because it's really hard for us to think as a beginner because I haven't like bought beginner flavors for a very long time. Well, it's just hard because you're always thinking about stuff. You're buying stuff to make a certain profile.
Guys, we started out real strong and we just went off the rails.
Exactly.
Because you know what beginner flavors are? In reality, the beginner flavors to us are just what Wayne liked. That's all it is. It's horseshit.
He's not wrong though, because when we all started, there was only like 1 or 2 people out there on YouTube.
Everything from TFA, Capella, then Flavor Art, and then we were like, "Oh, Inawera's got shit. What the fuck? This is crazy."
Yeah. We think they're like beginner flavors because that's the only recipes that were out.
Yeah.
Because of fucking Wayne.
Well, here's the thing.
Brainwashed.
This list that we're making up, we're only putting flavors on there that we know are good. You can choose not to buy them or buy them. It's up to the mixer. I mean, the thing is, we don't want people going out there spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on flavors that we know that they probably will never use. So that's something.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that first 20 was solid. I mean, there's no reason to stick so hardcore to. I mean, we're trying to branch out and say like where you would go next from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it needs to be so hardcore beginners, because the beginners are only beginners while they're beginning.
Panda has a good suggestion. He said he's searching for a peach iced tea.
Yeah.
And that's 2 things I noticed that weren't on that list is anything peach or anything beverage, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we tried, and then you told us we were wrong with the citrus soda.
We did 3 drinks, actually. You told us no.
No,
because
okay.
It is 3 citrus sodas. You're right. But you know what, though? You can use that citrus soda for so much, so many other things.
You're right.
Yeah, but it's not easy to use for a beginner.
Well, what if?
I know what you're saying.
What if we schedule the show like for beginners, where you guys come in and you tell us the profiles that you guys would actually want, and we could tell you the flavors that. Because if you're talking about a fizzy peach iced tea, I mean, TFA's iced tea or what is it, black tea? What is it called, Emily?
Sweet tea. Sweet tea.
That's the iced tea you need, but you need to use it high.
Yeah, you need to buy just
12%.
buy a 30 ml of it.
At least.
At
least.
Use it as at 11%.
And then get mango, Losi's mango, put that in there.
And
4%.
Max,
Oof.
that is what we are going to do Thursday.
Right.
Basically.
So that's it.
Yeah, but we're talking about like an additional show that we charge for $200-$300.
Okay.
No.
Well, okay, but if you're talking about a fizzy peach iced tea, I think you could get away with using the lemonade clear, the sweet tea, and then jungle flavors,
Honey peach. Yep.
honey peach,
Yeah, honey peach.
And TFA nectarine.
and TFA nectarine.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
gotta
would
have TFA nectarine. That needs to go on the list regardless.
Yeah,
For sure.
That would be a banger right there. And I'm pretty sure that would work.
Mix that up, Panda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mix that up for us. Buy it and tell us how good it is. Don't worry about it.
And you know what? Babe Train sugarcane.
What?
Yeah, sugar cane is super good. You've never
Babe
tried
Train
that?
sugarcane with a tea, with any tea. It's
Sugar
perfect.
cane. I'm telling you, try that with the sweet tea. Puts it to a whole nother level.
You know, Losi's sweet tea is better than TFA's, by the way. You don't have to use it as high. Yeah.
Well,
They also have a lemon. Like
I
a
mean,
where the fuck can you get
Armor.
Delosi?
I need to make it delicious.
From Delosi, believe it or not.
Really? They sell stuff?
I
Yeah,
really
they
need
do, and you
it.
can get the whole line for $83.
Okay, buy all you beginners out there, buy those and tell us how they are.
Okay, let me add something to the list that should really be there. FA pear
Yeah.
or TPA dragon fruit or Inawera cactus. Which one do you
EPA what fruit?
suggest?
As long as you just keep saying cactus, I'm good.
Yeah. You always say it
I
like a
vote for
Dr.
that.
Seuss
It's
character.
the only way to say it. It's the right way to say it. Cactus.
No, it's not.
I wouldn't
I live in the fucking desert. It's not. It's called a cactus.
I wouldn't use cactus anymore.
No.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's obtuse.
FA pear.
FA pear and Wonder Flavors star fruit or whatever star fruit.
What he's talking about for you beginners.
Flora
all these
wild melon,
flavors
too.
are additives to make things juicier.
Yeah.
They all work. I would use FA pear. I think it's the most beginner friendly of the juiciousness flavors.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what kind of like fruit that you throw at it. The pear will not show up. It'll just make it just wet, juicy.
What if I say we don't even need flavor our pear anymore because we get Wonder Flavor star fruit? That does exactly the same thing, even better probably.
The only thing about the star fruit is that it seems to work better if you're going for a more acidic kind of a
It's
drink.
real bright. It's real
Yeah.
bright. And
It's
edgy.
going to add more to the mix that FA pear.
FA pear is mellow,
All right, well, okay, I'm wrong.
sweet. Yeah, I mean, no, star fruit's good, but I think if we're only gonna pick one additive to make things juicier, I'd vote for FA pear.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're going
Yes.
for some kind of like Hawaiian punch kind of base or something, the star fruit works really well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's bright and it's in your face and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really
So we
good-
have we have options now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have options before. Like we had cactus and I said cactus.
I know, like to be a beginner again, man.
Yeah.
Like, Mike, this is why the list is so hard because when we started, we had like 3 companies to choose from.
So
And-
yeah, you have to
and
put cactus and shit. I think my first recipe was a lemonade that I put cactus in, and it
Yeah, but
was
it's
probably
good, though.
Is it? It's probably
I like cactus and lemonade.
Graham, you gotta try that bubblegum question mark mix. With
Oh
cactus.
yeah, I'm going to. I'm going
Try
to try it with jungle flavors because I can tolerate jungle flavors cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It doesn't have that
cactus is
weird-
good, too.
Yeah.
Is it just as juicy though?
Yeah, they both are.
Is it?
Yeah. I think that it doesn't have that that floral soapy note that everybody gets. I'm talking about the mulberry one. I need to play around with the jungle flavors cactus a little bit more, but
I'd like
They're-
to take the
they're
Inawera
both
one and
so
throw it in the fucking middle of the highway. and let it get rolled
it's
over.
good. Come on. I made-
Stop it.
I
Don't be
made a
like that.
recipe with it.
Quit
You can't
acting
change
like
it.
that.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I don't know. Are there any other recipes that people would be like looking after that we could kind of like think of like that?
Mustard milk.
No.
Mm.
Strawberry and cream. we can already
people
do that.
like to try chocolates and coffees, but I was just to stay away from that kind of profile if you are starting to mix.
Chocolate
That's
moon.
tough.
Chocolate is really tough for
Yeah.
beginning mixers. If you like chocolates and you want to mix something up, just take a look at my milk. Mix it
Yes.
up. You won't be disappointed. Just see how I created that, and then maybe you could kind of do your own things with those flavors, because the flavors that I use in that are pretty solid. The Capella double chocolate version 2, the Hangson chocolate cream, Flora cream. So yeah, those are a good place to start. But I wouldn't just start out trying to make your own chocolate. Mix up somebody else's first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Folkart's the one who cracked the code on the fucking chocolates too, so you should listen to him.
If you're a beginner, like aside from this list and just mixing up other people's recipes, the best way to go is you find a highly rated recipe that looks good to you, and mix it up so you get to know the flavors, and then you can then tweak it. You know, start bumping something up, or maybe add one
Mhm.
other flavor. Like it's a really great way to get to know how the flavors interact and what you like personally. You know, don't don't start making all kinds of fancy recipes right away. Just take recipes and tweak them a little bit, or make basic, really basic, like I'm talking 2 3 ingredients from this list that we give you, and then once you get that down and tastes good, then tweak it. Then maybe add a little bit of almond, see what that does, or maybe
I
That's a
used to
great
take just
idea.
the flavors that I had, like because I didn't even have that many at all, like maybe like 30 or 40, and I would just make all the
Mhm.
recipes, but make it out of what I thought the other flavors might taste like. You know what I mean? Like trying to put them together so that I knew if it worked. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
that's kind of how this list is working too, because it's not really a beginner list. It's almost like a one step above that. Like, you should obviously do what Emily said, find recipes and then kind of tweak them, but you can use this as like a reference. So say you
Mhm.
do try a tobacco and you don't really love it. There's parts of it you like. Maybe you like everything else about the recipe, but not the tobacco. Maybe sub red burley in there. Maybe sub sweet and smoky in there. Maybe you put native in there. Maybe you change the RY4 from TFA to Hankson. And then same thing with I do that. I love Tiger's X, but I didn't really like the first one as much, like the original recipe. So I started putting stuff like raspberry in it, and I started putting like Flavor West blueberry in it. You know, you just kind of take stuff and tweak it a little bit. And all of those are on this list too. They're all
Yeah, and,
flavors
and
that we
and
really like.
for example, if you want to add like an apple to a recipe you like, and you go to a website to buy an apple, you're going to find like 20 apples to
Oh,
buy.
more than that.
20.
Uh,
I have
More than
96.
More than that, yeah,
yeah, right.
probably more than
Exactly.
that. That is why you have that list to say, okay, Fuji apple. Okay, yeah, let's
Yeah.
go with that first, and then try another ones.
Yeah, they're not where they're not all like one flavor is not going to be like if you want to make a really good um peach ice cream. What Emily did is she made one of my favorite recipes of the year. Um it took 3 different parts to make the peach and 3 different parts to make the ice cream. Like you can't just take one peach and one ice cream. You can't just take um FA peach and TFA ice cream and be like, "Oh, this is really good." You kind of need she used apricot and nectarine and jungle flavors honey peach, and that made a really good peach. And then
yeah.
I think you used a trinity, right? The ice cream
But
trinity?
yeah, the ice cream trinity.
Yeah,
Layering is your friend. You know,
absolutely.
What was the
like
name of that recipe?
just
Peachy keen.
peachy keen. Yep.
I know that. I mix it all the
I haven't
fucking
tried that one yet.
It's so good, dude. You should try it.
Yeah, I took
Everybody should try it.
mine Alfred Pudding's peach trinity, and I took the ice. I make pizzas ice cream trinity and put them together. That's all I did.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's a great fucking recipe.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's easily like in my top 3 recipes of the year.
Wow.
It's really good. But I think the other 2 are probably Graham's recipes too. Fucking crushed it this year. And nobody thinks that Graham can mix. Somebody made a comment the other day that Graham just listens to everything that we say,
Yeah. Right.
and he just repeats it. And we right away went like, that's not even fucking true. That's completely the opposite.
It's been several times that were me or somebody else like, do you even mix, bro? Like, yeah, he does
Yeah,
mix
that's
occasionally, and when he does, he nails it out of the park
Yeah.
or something.
Or he'll scream a flavor for like 2 hours, and you're like, shut up, Graham. And then you try it, and you're like, fuck you, Graham.
Sweet, sweet coconut.
Yeah.
Sweet coconut.
And he always says it like that too. Like, this is what you need. This is the flavor.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's crazy because he's got like what 10 recipes, so you don't think, oh, he doesn't mix. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he did. You buy a flavor because he's in what's the word, incessant about it. So then you try it, you're like, God damn, he was right. Now I have to tell him that He was right.
Dave did not want to say that last night at all. It was so funny. He kept saying, "No, I can't." That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You know what it is? All it is, I probably have 8,000 recipes. I don't put anything in ATF.
Yeah.
And then I'm like too lazy. I have like napkins all over the place. I'm old, dude.
I don't
write
write.
on napkins.
I don't post. I think I have less public recipes than Graham does.
That's probably
Really?
true.
Yeah, I think I only have like 6, maybe.
Do we consider
I-
developed though? You know?
What? What?
Do we consider developed as like recipes? You know, like
Yeah, I mean,
we're putting those out
basically-
every week.
Yeah, that's the reason why we're like, I don't post that often. But
Yeah.
somebody said like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just trying to. Some beginner said a lemon or lime dessert, and Chef has a really good, probably the best key lime pie, which was based off of our Tart 76. And
Yeah.
most of the time, I'll just tweak recipes based off of what we've come up with or what somebody else has come up with, and
Mhm.
yeah, I don't post
That's
it.
the thing. A lot of my recipes are like where I take notes and layers from other people's recipes and make it my own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, in that case, I had an old recipe, an old key lime pie, and then we made that Tart 76, and immediately I had to change my recipe to have a new version with improved.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's
much,
you always
much
got to
better.
do that. Yeah. Okay. I gotta try this key lime pie. I got
Dude,
it
it's
because
great.
Bot Boy has to me the best key lime pie of all time, and it's very hard to beat, even like with the newer shit. Like, and this
No.
is a while ago he made it. So
His,
I mean,
his
I
is
trust
better.
you. I believe you. I believe you. I'm gonna make it right now.
I like it with the shisha lime in it too, though. But Chef likes that TFA key lime.
Yeah.
But
Well,
both
shit.
are-
I have a 4 ounce of that. I need to use it.
What, the TFA?
That TFA key
Yeah.
lime. Yeah.
Yeah, he used that in there.
You know, you forget about like you don't use
Yeah.
things, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's good. Let's
It is
use
so
You-
good.
You know what I've been doing lately? I've been buying like the Flavor West version of TFA shit. Do you know that there's like all like like Flavor West dragon fruit and Flavor West
Yeah,
vanilla
cream.
custard and flavor? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you could get, and a lot of it is a lot better than TFA.
TFA key lime should be on the beginner list though.
Flavor West key lime.
Is Flavor West better than TFA?
Yeah,
No.
you don't think so?
I don't think I
Come
have
on.
Flavor West
Be
key
on the
lime.
list. Because there's
Got
only
that.
one lime on the list, and grape shade Persian lime, which is really good, but it's very like thin and bright, and like where TFA key lime is more
Yeah. You're right.
and bassy.
Yeah, key lime or key lime pie are very similar one to the other.
Chef, what was that recipe? I'll post that link.
Yeah, put that link. Yeah, for sure.
I think he's already posted it.
I put the link on the chat.
Oh, you did?
Pudding
Yeah,
is
there you
good
go.
key lime pie too.
It's the Joker, right? Is that
Who?
what it's- Yeah, Joker
Yeah.
Reloaded.
You know, Alpha Pudding. You know,
Mm,
the guy that used to be on the show.
Who?
Doesn't ring a bell.
doesn't he live with Manson?
Alfred Pudding?
Yeah, he
Recall.
and some Discord peeps made it.
Doesn't sound like a real name.
Him, Shindo, and Manson are all living together somewhere in some like
Shingles too?
Yeah.
Him and Shingles? Oh
yeah.
my god.
some mixer protection program.
makes her protection program.
I think Shingles is still out there.
Shingles is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk to him occasionally.
Yeah, he's not gone.
Uh-uh.
Who's Shingles?
Shingles.
Yeah, you know.
He made
Old Shingles.
he made that golden
Arches.
yeah, that he made
The Mayan knockoff.
yeah, he made what other what other knockoffs did he put out? He put that
D cream.
deep
Oh.
Which is,
yeah, that was mustard milk.
No, that's amazing. Wait, no,
It's
that's
mustard milk with apple.
Mustard
I don't know. That could have even been Alfred Pudding. They all just kind of blend together. I can't
They
say
are.
keep them straight.
Shingle pudding.
Yeah, which one was Shingles? Shingles.
Shingles pudding.
You know, if you're a mixer and you want to mix a 2-flavor banger, eggnog and peaches cream. Speaking of
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is so good.
Oh,
That was by not
So good.
that was by not Shingles Pudding.
yeah.
I swear that's who it was by. I couldn't think of it, but thank you for bringing
Not
it up.
Shingles pudding.
Yeah.
Hey, Folkart, someone is asking if Aztec Gold or Maya Milk, which one is better?
Mind milk.
Miami.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
know.
a contest?
It's. I mean, Aztec Gold is good. Don't get me wrong. It's just different. It's not a milk chocolate. It's more of like a dark chocolate. Yeah, it's just it's not a milk chocolate. I like it better.
And you're also go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I'm
I'm just
not
gonna
saying
sell
that.
that for you.
I'm not saying that. I mean, to get Aztec Gold, you have to buy it. It's not a public recipe. The Mind Milk is a public recipe, so for me to say Mind Milk's better it's the truth. It is.
And make
So
no mistake
buy
about it,
Aztec
Mayan
Gold.
milk's the best recipe ever written, like for sure. There's no question about it.
Oh, come on, it ain't that good.
I'm telling you right now. We both looked at each other that when we were at that convention, we went, "Holy fuck!"
When it comes to making something with a known hard profile
Right.
and being creative with something that, I mean, so when you're like referencing like what flavors it uses and what it's made of, it's a fantastic recipe.
Well,
I mean, it's a
thank
great recipe no matter what, but I'm just saying, like, I think Graham's saying, like, it's the best recipe ever, like, because it's just so creative and
Yeah.
like, genius with that profile.
Well, when I tried it for the first time, me and Wayne were sitting at a table in Vegas, and Folkart, you remember when you came up, you gave that to us,
yeah.
like
Mhm.
to try.
Yeah.
You know, Folkart's like, he's like, "Hey, try this, guys. I don't know if it's that good." You know, fucking all fucking humble and shit, that bullshit. And I mean, it's like that was like, I don't want to say life changing, but definitely eye opening.
Oh, it was
Wayne
life-changing,
Wayne
alright.
Wayne did seem to like it pretty good, so that's good.
Yeah, he immediately came back and made the Ovaltine one
Well,
His eyes started glazing over. He's like, "What?"
because he was convinced Australian chocolate was going to be the game changer chocolate, and then Folkart pulls out a V2 from Capella, and shut everybody up. They're like, "Oh, V2, why would anybody try it? This guy's tried every chocolate in any concentrate, and he throws out
Kind of.
Cap V2."
What was he thinking?
And then I immediately remember when he posted that recipe, everybody trying to buy that flavor, and it was sold out everywhere for like weeks. They'd get it back and it'd be gone again. I
was the
didn't get it for
recipe
like a month
I was
later.
fucking with you about, right?
That flavor was like this generation's Inware milk chocolate.
it was just a very highly overlooked flavor. If you have to try the flavors before you know what they are. And I've tried just about every chocolate, and that was the best fit for
That
it. I don't
bought
care.
every Capella. That bought every Capella like employee like Lambos. When you put that recipe out, and everybody was just driving around just.
So
Goddamn.
so when are they going to be sending me a check?
They're not ever going to. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Oh well. Well,
You
it's
found
out
them.
there.
I brought the guy into the room. I brought him into the room to try it. He was gonna let you wear his red jacket
Ooh.
at the convention, but you were nowhere to be found. So you blew that opportunity.
He gave you a Lambo.
guess.
Your wife crashed it.
Missed it. You missed
Two
it.
of them.
Missed an opportunity, Folkart.
I
You're
know.
right there
Good
with
night.
the Capella guys.
I know. Oh well. Maybe next time.
Is there more to put on this list? God damn it.
I think we're done with the list for today. I
Yeah.
mean, our first list was like 22 or 23 flavors. This is like 40 more.
Or at least like 85.
Went to spend in like $35 to spend in $250. Why not?
Yeah. You know what? Just buy everything.
In all reality, it's kind of how your second purchase goes. I mean, at least mine was. Like, I was very conservative my first flavor purchase, and I only spent $40, $50 for everything. And then I just went crazy, hog wild. Like, my next purchase was like $100 just in flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, well, I'll take an orange and a peach and a
Yeah,
an apple.
yeah.
And
But
You're like,
this list will really help people out because when I was buying stuff, I was buying just whatever. If I wanted an orange, I would buy an orange. I didn't know whether it was a good orange, a bad orange, or whatever. At least with this list, you know that they've been tested. We like them. We've used them, and so you're probably not going to be disappointed unless you just have some kind of hatred toward a certain flavor. But like maybe a tobacco or something, but
And someone said to use the top 100 flavors from all the flavors, but the problem with that list is that uh, they they are using a lot of old flavors that
Mhm.
had a lot of recipes that use those flavors, and now we have better flavors to replace them.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we try our best to test a lot of the newer stuff that's coming out. So, we're the list will be a more up to date list than say just going off all the flavors.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should put like would you guys like to see like an Instagram post or something where you guys can comment like what kind of profiles or something that you guys would like to see, and then we could get a better mindset for what we should add, what kind of flavors we should add, and maybe we could put like recipes out there too. I think that would help people. If you're not already following us on Instagram, I mean, you should probably do that in case we do that, just so we know. Thank you, Chef. Yeah, I think that would probably be the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you guys can blow up Folkart. He loves when that happens. So
What?
yeah, never mind.
I'm typing here. I wasn't even listening. I have no idea what you were talking about.
Just email Folkart.
Oh no.
Yeah, and call A13.
Yeah. What's your phone number again?
It's OICU 812.
What? I don't get it.
I will give you my number, but it is like 20 numbers.
So you're telling people to send us a message, send
Probably on Instagram or something.
Well,
we'll put a
Yeah, I'm
post
going
up
to
there.
make a post, and then they can reply to that.
okay.
Yeah, just so we have an idea of what kind of stuff to add to these kind of lists and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we have an email now too. It's contact@developeddiy.com.
Yeah. And don't use it to tell us how handsome Chef is. We get it.
Or how drunk Max is.
Yeah, I don't like when that happens. So stop sending those too. It gets kind of weird.
Or how big Focus is.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, stop asking for pictures of Folkart. So anyway, so we'll see you guys on Thursday, I guess. And we're gonna come up with some recipes based off of the flavor list that we got, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay.
Good.
Nice.
All right.
Emily, thank you so much for coming on and dealing with all this chaos.
Hey, thanks for having me. I always love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do an episode with you soon too, right?
Sounds
I
good.
believe so.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys on Thursday. Do I do the finger?